Greetings, most honorable listeners and masters of the martial arts. I am Travis. It did it again, Chris.
That was big. That was Chris. I'm Big Los.
And this is CTE, and this is going to be experience, as always, for you.
All of us. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes. Oh my, twice.
And yeah.
Go ahead, Trav. You got music. You got music, man. Let's go. Let's go.
I got some music.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
I'm gonna let the music play.
Not much to say, fam. They told me to tell you you measure some wastemans and stay in your place, fam. My dad is from Memphis and I am the king. I should probably just move into Graceland. Madonna's a ting I know and I'm the king of pop. I'm building Neverland. How he hate me when I never met him, man. Woo! We might just get hit with the Rico.
We might get hit with a what?
Cause we in the field with them bird like we play for the Eagles.
Huh?
I'm on probation, so let me not talk what's illegal. Switch it up. Today I woke up with my drinker, she rich as a beetle. We might
Huh? What'd you say,
just get hit with the Rico.
Oh. Hey. If you didn't know, we are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour and come. Well, actually, we just had it last.
Just had it
on February 4th. If you guys didn't see it, go ahead. Fight. Still up. You'll go back and watch it. We had VFT the Grudge Match where we had Thomas Wright versus Trey Lazenby was the feature about, and ladies and gentlemen, it lived up to the hype. That fight was very tense. If you were in the building, it was a tense fight. We're gonna get into all of that in a few minutes. And coming up March 31st, April 1st.
You said intense?
It was tense. It was tense inside that building.
Tense, not intense.
right. Correct terminology, my friend.
No, it got a little intense too. It it got a little intense, man.
I guess you had to be there.
Oh yeah, if you were in the building, it was a different building, man. It was a different feeling if you were in the building than if you weren't. So, yeah. With that being said, how was y'all? Coming up March 31st and April 1st is the Ocean State Grand Nationals. Make sure you get your tickets now. Get those tickets now. Get your room now. Make sure you register on MadAction.com. I think it's MadAction. I'm not sure. I got to check back, but I think it's MadAction. Get you register on. Let me just make sure. But make sure you guys go ahead and get your tickets. Register for your event for the Ocean State Grand Nationals coming up in March 31st and April 1st. All right. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Doing great, man. Thanks for asking.
You know, Los, you decked out in your
Los is on top of the world, baby.
You know what time it is. Let's go. This time next week, we'll have one of them chips again. We'll have another one.
If you say so.
Oh no.
I mean, hey, you say so.
If we say so, I just said it. Like, what are you talking about?
Hey, man, the Lakers might not agree with you.
The who?
The Lakers.
Who?
You better, hey, the Lakers, son. You better watch out because they come out and they gonna be ready for you. Oh yeah, go to uventex.com, people, to get your ticket to register for Ocean State Grand National.
Eagles Super Bowl championship. Let's go. What you said?
What, the Eagles?
Yeah,
the Eagles. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know about the Eagles. Andy Reid gonna show y'all why he left.
He didn't leave. He got fired, fool.
That's what they put out there.
No, he got fired.
That's what they put out there. He's like, I'm out of here, man. I'm going somewhere else. Anyway, how was you guys' weekend, man?
My weekends was a wash, man. I think I had food poisoning on Friday, so I was out of it Friday and Saturday.
What gave you the food poisoning?
I don't know. I went to my daughter's track meet on Thursday, and And you know how like you order like you just I ordered some tenders, man. I looked at this one tender, like out of all the tenders, all of them look good, but this one just didn't look right. I was like, I probably shouldn't eat this one. I did. And then so that was like kind of earlier today. Then for dinner, I met my wife and my kids out, and I had a burger, and I ate part, like it was like the end of the restaurant was closing. So I had a burger, and it was kind of like, you know, you bite into something, it's like, nah, I can't eat the rest of this. So like from that point, my stomach was all messed up the next day. So Friday I was like out of it. Saturday, most of the day on Saturday I was out of it. So yeah, it was tough.
You know, oxtails, you wouldn't have got sick. If you had oxtails, you wouldn't have got sick because they slow cook it.
Oh, hold on. What'd you say? You kind of was cracking up a little bit.
Oxtail.
You ain't got to repeat what he said. I heard what he said, son. I heard what he said. They know what I'm doing. Like, you messed up this is my stick, son. This is my thing, okay? This is what I do to them. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be
no, exactly. Thank you.
I'm gonna kick him out of the room.
Hey, you out, son.
No, he's sticking around. No, yeah. He's all right with me. I'm sending him a CTE shirt just for that. Chris, how was your weekend, man?
Oh man, we had a pretty good weekend. It was pretty chill, just normal, everyday stuff. Big rounds for sparring. I mean, that was a highlight. There's some people in the building. Josh came over and fought with us.
Josh who?
Forwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I thought it might have been Smith.
Oh, no. That would be nice. They could come on out.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. Dudes out. No. Oh, that's true. That's fair enough.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but that was good. Come on, man. We're going to get to that part.
We're going to get to that. But,
okay. Well, you're going to talk about Josh Smith.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
He's in the second part. We're gonna start.
We got 2 parts we're gonna talk about today.
We got two things to talk about today. We got virtual fight tour, and I promised y'all last week that we were finally gonna get to talk about the Premier Rico case. And hey, I said we're gonna get to it. We gonna get to it. I've been wanting to talk about this because I wanted y'all thoughts on it. But first things first, virtual fight tour. Grudge
yes, sir.
Match. I know both of you were watching. So, how was it for you guys watching it? Well, Chris, you commentated.
Yes.
And this is the first time that I wasn't in the booth with you.
I know, buddy. It was a little different. It was definitely a little
like I'm a child, right? Like, yeah, you talk to your kids, son.
Buddy, you just weren't there with me, man. Like, I was just like, I felt all alone. Like, it
was just a little off. I love the other guys. No, it was definitely a little different without you right there. But we knew you was in the building taking care of the interviews and whatnot. So
yeah, I was in the building, man. The whole experience was a little different for me. Because
is this the first one you've been to? Or I thought you went to the second. Okay.
The second one I went to. But it was just different in the sense that it was a lot of people. The New Yorkers were out. There was a lot of people in the building. I'll put it that way. It was a lot of people. East Coast. A lot of East Coast people were in the building, man. It was interesting just to chop it up and talk to people. And everybody, you can just cut the tension with a knife when you got in there, man. Like seriously, everybody had little conversations behind the scenes and was talking like, hey, what you think about to happen here? What's really about to happen in this fight? And I'm just like, hey, look, man, I don't know. Depends on how they coming into this fight, but yeah. So, all right, let's get to it, man.
Let's
go. Los, you came in late. You missed the first fight, right?
Yeah, man, I don't know what it is about my events. I always have a difficult time. I forget my password. Then they send me a little password code, and I try to do that. That don't work. I literally had to have my wife log me in to get me in. So I was getting a little frustrated. But I came in.
Yeah, you are a little special when it comes to computers and stuff, right?
Yeah, just a little bit. Then I came in. It was good, man. I love how they had the score up and like the round, the fight number it was. Like it was like that. That was definitely a next level. Like it was missing a couple times in the like they just weren't able to get it up, or they must have forgot to put it up or whatever. But it definitely added to, because at one time I don't know if we're into that point, but at one time the guys were commentating and they weren't really sure what the score was. They're kind of like maybe catching it on the screen as the camera moved and kind of throwing out that way. But as a whole, though, yeah, it was good, man. I like that. That definitely helped kind of keep you engaged to what was happening.
Yeah, I couldn't, and like knowing where you were. Yeah,
so
I enjoyed that.
I couldn't hear what you guys were saying, so we didn't have you guys come loud, commentating really that loud. I mean, there was every now and then you can hear you guys in the background, but I couldn't.
Just really quick, I just out of curiosity, did you know you had a blue shirt on? A blue T-shirt under your black shirt?
Yeah, it was a purple shirt.
I was gonna say I thought it was a purple shirt.
It was a purple
shirt.
Okay. It says "Shut up, Alex."
Yeah, I knew exactly what shirt it was.
Yeah, I had that shirt on up under there, man.
Okay.
So it came through then. Okay, all right.
Who dressed this dude? Like, I was gonna send you a text, but I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna mess with him." I was gonna do it like right when you interview. I was just like, "Yo, what is?"
Yo, fam, what are you wearing?
If it was green, it'd been all right.
I'm trying to get into your interview, and your blue shirt is just throwing me off.
It was purple. Purple
was a "Shut Up, Alex" shirt.
It was a "Shut Up, Alex" shirt, man.
Alex was texting in our group that, so you had to write just like, "Alex, just stop.
just shut up." But yeah, that whole well, okay. Let me tell you guys this: being in the building, the original plan, like Chris, you mentioned about the mic. The original plan was for me to be in the ring.
Right. That's what I thought when you said he was going to be in the building. I thought that's what he was going to do.
That's what I was supposed to be doing. Unfortunately, we had some technical issues with the mic, and it just wasn't working. And that's why when at the beginning of the show you saw me.
Oh yeah.
I had that. Honestly, I did not know I was doing the opening of the show. I did not know this.
I think we had Jackson preparing to do the opening. Him and Jeff were going to do the opening.
Yeah, so then Jesse was like, 8 seconds. We about to put you on there. I'm like, wait, what? What, me? I don't have the mic. So, that was kind of like a change in plan at the beginning of the show. But other than that, we were rolling, man. We had like the first fight. The first fight, honestly, was the most entertaining fight of the night. Until oh my God, I don't know how many times we have to say this on this podcast or in every podcast on this network. Multiple rounds is different. You have to be in good shape. Yes,
Cardio's king. Cardio's king.
Be in good shape.
Listen. Multiple round fights, you can't deny it. And honestly, I would suggest to people try finding a gym to go bounce around in the ring. An MMA gym or a kickboxing gym, a boxing gym. Just see if you can go join a gym, or not join a gym, but pay a mat fee or whatever and go in and bounce on that, because that wood and that ply is going to give in a certain way that's not going to be like your mats. And so that's going to take a lot out of your legs. And for people who kick a lot, we noticed that in another fight, somebody said that in an interview. When you kick a lot, you lose a lot because it absorbs that bounce absorbs. But yeah, cardio's king, fellas and ladies. Anybody who wants to step in the ring?
Yeah. So we're gonna start off with excuse me, the first fight, which was Jakai and Trey Brown Williams. I feel, people on here so many times I talk about, I don't really want to talk about juniors like that. I don't really want to critique them that hard and blah, blah, just like, blah, blah. But Jakai is different. Knowing him and seeing him from being young and watching him grow up and fight. In this fight, Trey got off on him in the beginning of the round. Got off
like 4 exchanges, like 3 of them were head kicks or something.
Kept kicking him in the head.
Kick fest.
Yeah, it was. I think it was at full point. It was 6-2, and it looked like Trey was about to run away with it. And then it was
fest.
No. Yeah, this is what was interesting about this whole thing.
Go ahead.
Mike Conroy was in the building, right?
Okay.
So me and Mike were standing over there by the table where I was at, and so Jakai throws a kick, and Trey they clash kicks, and Jakai goes down, and he grabs like his Achilles or his calf or something like that, and he's down there, and they get the medic to come and look at him.
Yep.
And Mike looks at me. He's like, "This should be a standing 8 count." And I was like, it would be if it wasn't an injury because he got kicked low. He's like, he got kicked. I was like, yeah, it was a kick low because he was looking at like, yeah, nah, something else is going on here. But he did it right. And if he was playing the game of I'm starting to get tired and I get a kick, and he did it right because he got it, grabbed his ankle. I mean, whatever, he was getting looked at. And then that's what changed the momentum of that fight because he had to at that point, Trey was getting off on him. Then Jakai got up and started jamming Trey and catching him with back fists, and they just became this going back and forth. These guys were just going back and forth. Trey came back. I mean, Jakai came back, tied it up. I think it was 9-9 going into the second round. Now they're only doing 2 rounds.
Yep,
only doing 2 rounds. And I thought it was weird that when Jesse said that it was going to be this round was going to be 2 rounds, I'm like,
why?
Rounds? They 15 years old.
Fam, that's what I said. Fam, why is we going 2 rounds with the young kids?
Yeah, I'm like the other kid. Michael and
they went 3.
They went 3 rounds. So I'm like, why are they doing 2 rounds? Oh, I know why they do. They went 2 rounds now. Yeah. So at this point, they come back out. They start fighting. And it's still going back and forth. They're still close. And then as I watched Jakai, I could see that energy bar starting to go low. He was bouncing wrong. He was falling after everything. And then people would start counting them out. They started counting at this point. I started counting like 1, 2, 3. Like they gave
him the standing 8.
They started giving him the standing 8 count. So he started getting up to fight. And you can hear Marcel like, get up. I need everything. Get up. Everybody's at this point, people, the whole place is in awe because it's only a second round and it's not even a minute into the second round. And Jakai is falling all over the place and everybody's looking like, what? You're 15, kid. Why are you this tired? Right? Like it was like, what is happening right now? And Conway just looked at him and he was like, what? I was like, I don't know what's happening right now. Because everybody was kind of confused. Like, why are you this tired? You should not be this tired. So everything he did, he just started falling all over the place, falling down, blah, 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 this, that, and that. So, and then Trey, realizing it, just started tagging off on him. Ended up winning the match, 16-12. Jakai is I mean, when I tell you this boy was like he was dying or something. The boy crawled out the ring. I was like, what are you, really? I'm like, come on. So then he came and he's sitting there doing the interview. He could barely talk. So I didn't hold him that long. And I asked Marcel, like, yo, Marcel, you got like asthma or something? We saw that.
We heard that. We all saw that. I had to mute my mic so I didn't laugh. And the thing, like, did this dude just ask if he had asthma?
Like, yo,
he's like, no, he was tired.
Yeah, because he was like I had never seen anybody that tired in my life that didn't have like some kind of medical issue. And I'm like,
it's harassing,
kid. Like, I don't understand this. Because he plopped in the seat. I'm like, yo, you gotta get better in your cardio, man. Like, if you're gonna do this, you have to be in better shape than that. Yeah. And then Trey came over. But at the end of the fight, which was funny, you heard, I think it was Troy screaming, that's why we train like this. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, that's why they train like this. Because they know what it's like to be in that ring. Like, so they know the cardio is going to take for that. And you just see Trey was just in a better conditioning to win the fight. That's what it came down to. It wasn't about who wanted it more. It just came down who was in better shape. That was the end of that fight. Like, it is what it is. Thoughts, Chris? I know Los didn't see that fight. Los, what fight did you come in on so I can make sure I can bring you in? Okay, yeah.
I can't remember.
When you tell me the names, I remember something. I kind of spot on with the analysis. Like it was a back and forth, really exciting matchup until the gas tank ran out.
I was disappointed that we didn't get a true finish.
100%. Yeah, because I would have really liked to see that go down to the wire 2 or 3 rounds. With that skill level that they were demonstrating, because like it was a back and forth. I wish we could have got for me on my side. I wish I could have got Jakai to move around the ring a whole lot more to tire that leg out and to wear his leg out and to get him tired.
If Jakai moved any more around that ring, he would have been done a minute earlier.
I understand now why, but like, listen, that would have been my game plan. Like, fam, like he kicks a lot. Move around a little bit. Don't let him touch you with the leg.
Don't stand on the line with him. But
you gonna stand? Yeah. Anyway, So, but it was a good fight until the gas tank ran out, and then it just went 2, 3, 4, and there you go, and it's over.
That's it.
I think he was up 1, and then it just started and then it was down 1.
Jakai was not moving.
No,
he was standing like.
But it looked like he couldn't. So like, you know what I mean? Like the way when he sat, like you said, when he sat down for the interview, I was like, yeah, all right. Somebody check him. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Make sure the kids.
So good job, Trey. You got a great leg.
That was one of the takeaways I had from that fight. I like Trey. That was really my first time actually watching him. I want to get on, make sure I give him his props.
Absolutely, 100%. Like not just because Jakai got tired, but Trey forced that. He picked up the pace of the action, or kept whatever.
Afterwards, I was talking to Avery, and he asked me like, "Yo, did anybody impress you?" And I was like, "Yeah, the Trey kid, Trey Brown Williams was the only one that that was the one who stood out to me, like that impressed me. Like, oh, okay, yeah. So that fight, that he was the one that stood out to me that impressed me. So yeah.
Have they ever still not done a VST or VFT?
He did one.
Which one did?
For Oscar Guzman, Coca. Back last June, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I was just a little bit.
No, it was in New York. It was him versus Oscar on that fight. It was Bailey versus Tyreek. No, Bailey versus Enrique.
No. Yeah,
Bailey versus Enrique. Tyreek and Christian were supposed to fight, but Christian got hurt the week before. At battle, and it was Tyreek versus somebody from the Clerks, and then this was Tyson and Jason. Yeah, this is Tyson Jason. That was Tyson versus Jason.
That was a big card.
Huh?
That was a big card.
Yeah, that was a really good card. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. So then we moved on to, I believe it was Shaq and Daryl.
That's the fight I came in on.
Okay. Yeah, so you only missed one fight then. Yeah.
Los, you want to jump off with that one then?
Huh?
I know it wasn't me going out that time.
No, I mean, I wasn't surprised. I mean, Shaq one you could tell has a lot more experience. It looked like just in the game of point fighting as it was. I didn't feel like Shaq did anything that was like wow. But Daryl, I didn't really see anything from Daryl that would have changed anything that Shaq wanted to do that he couldn't do. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, I agree with you. You know what I just thought about what you just said. Who is Daryl's instructor?
Huh?
Who is Daryl's instructor?
I heard you. I just want to hear you say it.
I do not know. I'm unaware of this knowledge.
Right. Shaq is, he's Ben's, right?
Yeah, I mean, Shaq comes from a
right. And honestly, that's what it looked like.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It looked like somebody who has been really coached very well in our sport and how to fight and knows how to fight and is a good fighter.
Been around for it. Been in the game for a minute. Like, you mean like Daryl?
Right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if Daryl. It looks like he's been around for a while. it looks like Daryl's been around for a while, but he just
a lot of people have been around for a while.
Huh?
There's a lot of people that's been around for a while.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I just don't know if he had success, and this comes down who was coaching him, right? Like who was training him, who was coaching him, who was like really behind him.
Who was there?
I don't know. That was my question. Huh?
You was there. Who coached him? That's what
You were
saying.
there. You were there. You.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who coached him?
Huh?
Honestly, I don't remember.
I think it was Green. I think it was Keith. Was it Keith? Yeah.
It might have been.
Yeah, he had the green thing on. He had the G on the back of his uniform. Right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. What you talking about? The G? That's Diamond G3.
G3. That's the
That's
team
his
that
squad
Daryl's
though.
on. Yeah.
Oh, he's on the Diamond 3T. What G?
G3, yeah.
GPX. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, so he's on Diamond.
Okay.
But I mean, Shaq. It looked like Shaq. It was a dominant performance by Shaq, man. At the end of the day, Shaq did what he wanted to do. He got head kicks off on him.
He did. That was impressive from Shaq. Listen,
yeah, so it was like, oh,
bow. Oh.
This is what I'm saying. Like, just in the fight, like you could just see.
no, be honest. This is CTE. Go ahead, be honest. Say what you want to say, because I honestly, some people can take those, and I think
Shaq like body punched him like 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like, even in the space, like if he's this close to you, he's gonna probably punch you. And if you're gonna sit there and let him come first, most of the time the person that goes first is gonna score the point.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he and in the post-fight interviews, like, oh, I don't think you got something to score. That doesn't matter. You sat there and you let him come forward. No matter what you thought scored or didn't score, you allow him to be that aggressive going forward and shoot for the target. So what you say after that doesn't matter. And then when there's a lot of space, most times it's going to tell you that he's probably going to try to kick you because there's enough space for him to actually get room to get his leg up.
Yeah.
To kick you.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't, I mean, it's not like it was like this from the floor to the head speed type of speed kick. It literally was my leg's coming up and I'm going to kick you in the head.
But honestly, that's what it comes back down to, like who's behind you, like who's teaching you, who's correcting you when you go into these fights. Right. Who's or are you just going and sparring other people and you're not really getting coached? So
I'm not. That's why I don't talk sometimes. I just keep it myself.
Nah, man, we want you to talk. That's the whole point of the podcast, so you can talk.
It's our experience.
Yes, it helps. This helps people. You have no idea how much people come up to us and say, "Hey, man, what you said about me, about my fighting, it was 100% right." And you
know what? Honestly, like I don't feel there's anything that I would say that a person wouldn't know when they sit back and look at it.
Honestly, no, seriously, no.
You know what I mean?
Don't see it.
Like obviously didn't see it in the moment, right? Because anytime you don't see something in the moment and you're allowing it to happen, it's just not registering for you.
But some people don't know how to register that like, okay, he's got distance, he's about to kick. He's in this distance, he's about to punch. Some people don't register. They just think I didn't go first.
I didn't hear you.
Yes, you did. So that's what they think. They just think I didn't go first, and that's it. Like,
okay. So does it all go back to who's coaching you, or who taught you, or
who's helping you get better? I mean, honestly,
right.
That's what I think.
And it is. It's who is helping you get better, and what are you doing to continue to better yourself? But I mean, yeah, it seemed like it was just a one-sided fight. Go ahead.
He's on a Diamond 3G team. Like who? Like so? Like in that space, like who's on that team that's kind of helping him develop and grow, or how long has he been on that team, or do we just not know? Is that's just kind of like, you understand what I'm saying? Like so, like even like that's a legit team that's kind of coming up and actually kind of doing things at times, right? So who was kind of saying, hey, like I watched the fight. This is what I think you should be thinking about and seeing, and this is what I saw. Like, is there anybody that's kind of like doing that with and for him that you can think of, or who would that be if he's on the team, representing the team? And no, am I speaking too much?
I know. I'm going to say this. I don't know his situation.
What do you mean by his situation?
I don't know how much help he's going to get. Like because that's Sam and
Damien
are the coaches. Damien's in Florida.
Yep.
Sam's in Canada. I don't know how much critique and help they're going to give him from those areas and not being in the area that he's in. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what the relationship is like. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of people on that squad, so I don't know. It's a good question, Los. I wish I had an answer for you.
I'm going to show you how that will work. Hold on. Let me try that one more time. Hold on. I'm going to show you how that will work.
Is you calling me, Phil?
I'm calling you. Can you pick up the phone, please?
Echo now.
Yeah, I know. What's up?
Hey, yo, Chris, what's up, man? It's Los. Hey, listen, I was watching the VFT, man. I just want to tell you that, first of all, kudos to you getting out there, man. I know it took a lot for you to get out there. But here's what I saw in the event and what I would like to see you possibly work on. So as you move forward, competing, training, whatever you want to do, this is what I want you to try to work on. A, B, C, bomb, this, that, this is what I saw was happening. This is what you weren't doing. Can you work on that for me?
Yeah, Coach, I appreciate that. Thanks.
Something that you need, just let me know. If you need some drills or whatever, I'll definitely send you up some drills and you work on that and go from there. All right?
All right, man. I appreciate you. Thanks, Coach.
Talk to you soon. Later.
All right, bro. Peace.
What you say, Trav? I didn't hear what you said.
We're going on to the next fight.
It's just that simple. Like he represented. I thought he was with the green team. That's what I thought.
No, they're all down there in the Carolinas.
That's the case. That's all it is. Just somebody, if you're gonna have him represent your team, and there's somebody that you care about, you should be able to make that call. If he's out there by himself, you get what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
I look at someone like let's just say all stars, like Kevin always had you or someone else that could drop a dime on him, or Robbie or somebody like that. Like, you mean? So like in those cases, I think that's kind of how, if this person's representing your team, that's how you should have that type of communication, no matter what level it is, whether they're a high level sponsor, whatever.
Right.
I mean, like representing your uniform, like there should be somebody that's kind of like helping guide that person. But
100%. A lot.
Well, I'm just gonna say
it's
a lot of people on the squad. I don't even know how many people on the squad, so that's gonna be difficult to keep contract all of those people. So I honestly, man, I don't know.
Well, there you go. That's the answer right there, I guess.
So we got the next fight.
We got Malik and Jalen. All right.
Oh, okay.
This was actually Jalen showed some promise because he wasn't just I'm gonna raise my leg and just go. He showed some maturity in this fight. He picked the shots. He did what he wanted to do in this fight, and he won it pretty lopsidedly. Did you guys have any thoughts on this fight? Because I mean, honestly, it's not. I watched it, but it just got to a point where it's like, okay, how much longer we got in this fight? Because it's lopsided at this point. Like I didn't see anything that stood out. It was just kind of like, all right, well.
I mean, I was impressed, like you said, with Jalen's switching up of his game plan, his typical game plan of kicking and following and going real fast, and he threw a couple of real fast takeoffs that either ran him into the cage or caused a slip or fall or whatever. But he was pretty composed and he stayed in the pocket, so he showed promise in that. So I was happy watching his performance. Malik in spurts closed the gap and used his size to bully. So you use what you got, and I think he did well with that. We'll see what adjustments he makes as he comes forward, though.
Yep. All right. I know Lo's not gonna have anything to say. Am I correct on this? Assuming that
I had something I was gonna say, but you guys covered it all. It was great. Perfect.
Yeah, liar.
No, I did. Okay, so here's my thing, right? His first takeoff, I was just like, oh, come on, man. Right? And then everything, he adjusted everything from that point, right? I mean, he got his timing, he got his distance, got when he wanted to go. He used his legs and everything. So, like I think it was like the first 1 or 2 exchanges, I was just like, oh, here, come on.
Yeah, he's kind of like falling or whatever.
Yeah, you can't be.
I don't like the falling.
You just said before the fight, you can't take off from that far away. Like, you mean, like, first of all, you don't have to because you're so long. Like, you mean, like, you literally, like, just what he started doing was all he had to do was like put his hand on the front, get a little closer, just push forward.
Touch, pow. Yes.
So that there, I had said it, but
nice. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And then
I'm glad I can contribute to the Eagles.
Michael and Amir. Listen, out the gate, Amir looked like he was finna blast off with that leg. He got real tough.
That changed quickly.
After like the first 2 exchanges.
That changed very quickly.
It was pretty one-sided until there was a couple of little spurts in there.
So okay, let's get
even then, it was still one-sided.
It was lopsided. It was 26-8 after the second round. All right, so we're going into the third. So as soon as it ends, I'm hearing Tyreek scream on the side. You need 37. You need 12. You got to get 37. So you got to get 38. You got so as soon as he says that, I know what's happening. I know he's telling him to go for the record of the most points scored in the fight, right? So here we are going into this. I'm thinking he's gonna try and go for this record. I want to see how this goes. He comes out and gets kicked in the head twice, right off.
Just like the first part of the very first round. Like
I said,
not.
Okay, and then he had to readjust. Like, wait a minute, I can't just keep running in here.
No, move off, get off the line, body punch.
Yeah, let me
jam the leg, body punch. Yeah.
So he starts chipping away at it, and it gets to a point where it gets to 30s. It was like 10 seconds left. He was like 30,
34,
36.
Yeah, 36. Yeah, it was 2 points off.
And then he scores, and it goes back. He gets to 37. I thought when he blitzed that time was up. I thought time was up.
Well, because there was a slight difference between the screen and when we heard the bell.
The bell, yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh, time's up. And then he blitzes, and then James like, yo, I saw James. He was like, yo, no, I'm giving him that point. He's getting the record. But here's the funny thing about the whole thing. You know who held the record?
Who?
Anthony Merricks. You know who was a judge?
He judged that.
You know who was a judge in there?
I would have gave him nothing on that last call. I looked right at him and been like, that's a good point.
And I see Ant was on the side where I could not see who he was calling for because he was on this side. He was like the
we could see directly at him when on the camera.
Right. He was on that side. So the camera, there's like how the cage is set up, it's like those little
poles.
Beams, the poles or whatever. And he's standing like right in front of him. So I don't see where Ant is going on his calls, right?
Okay.
It was somebody came up to me and told me, I'm not gonna say who it was. Somebody came and was like, Ant was not calling Michael's point. No.
Whole third round.
Now I don't know that. So I was like, yo, all right, no, but the last point, my aunt did give him that last point. But I was like, nah, y'all gave that to him. I don't think, but the whole thing was funny, man. Just that last round.
That last round, Amir came out.
He kicked him in the head twice.
Or
not. Like, he's not. He might not get this. He had to readjust. I'm like, okay, maybe he's not gonna go for it. Thought he was gonna try and go for it, but
he did.
38 points, bro. Put up
3 rounds.
38 points in 3 rounds. That's like 12, almost 13 points a round. Mm-hmm. Do you think anybody's ever gonna score 50? Now, before you say that, that means somebody's gonna have to put up like 16, 17 points. Like almost 17 points a round in 2 minutes. Do you think somebody's gonna be able to get to 50? Los, can you imagine somebody scoring 50 points on you in 30 rounds?
No, absolutely not. 100%. I can already tell you right now it's a no.
I was asking the question.
Sorry.
out of curiosity, what is martial arts?
The art of self-defense?
I didn't hear you.
I don't know what I said. I forgot.
So if somebody scored 50 points, what are we doing? Like, first of all, you let someone score 38 points. Like, I have a difficult time when I see points like 16, 20. Like, you mean, like, that's a lot to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. Nobody ever talks about defense.
It's almost a lost art because you get no points for blocking. So,
but is it blocking or just covering?
I think
listen, hold on now.
I just walked into something here.
Am I just shielding or am I actually blocking what's coming? Like, you mean, like, what is it? What am I doing?
I don't think people know too much
About blocking?
Yeah. Other than
everything is a frame and shit. Like, you very seldom ever see people actually like block.
Right.
Nah, I ain't talking about blocking like that.
I'm about to say, hey, if somebody did a low block.
No, we're not doing that either, Chris.
I was just making sure we was talking about the same thing.
We are not. That is not the same thing we're talking about, brother. That is not the same thing. But I don't know. What do I know? I don't know.
I mean, do you think somebody's going to put up 50 on somebody in Virtual Fight Tour?
Yes, absolutely. Because there's no defense.
It's quite the possibility. It's happening in all sports. We're getting all offense.
What's the most points scored in a round? Has anybody ever put up a Twinkie? I'm pretty sure nobody has, but I'm wondering if 15 points or 17 points is like the most put up in a round. I'm just curious. I don't think we had that stat, but
what was Tyson's at the team fight?
I don't know.
He went off, I think, I think he fought Joe.
Yeah, but I don't think he put up.
He put like 18 in the round or something like that, wasn't it? Like, I thought it was up there.
Oh, maybe.
I thought it was only a one rounder. I don't remember that stat. It was a while ago.
Well.
Last fight, people. Trey. Also a 2-rounder. This is Los's. Los like this one.
What?
Your thoughts on the main event? Your thoughts on the main event? Your thoughts on the main event?
I have no thoughts on the main event. Like, I mean, it was what was expected, right? I felt Thomas came out and kind of was like, "Hey, look at me, bum bum bum." And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, how is Trey letting him hit him with this goofy ass rich hand? Like, how is that happening? Like, you know what I mean? And then he just like ducking his head and just coming in with like, what is Trey doing? Okay, he's wearing him out for the next round, whatever. But even so, like Trey totally smoked the kid, like that kid, grown man, whatever you want to call it. But even in that, like, there's still supposed to be a level of outclassing somebody. When you are on when there's just a gap, like there's a gap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, Trey beat him pretty bad as far as the score and stuff goes. But I felt he should have totally like just like outclassed him, like for the whole, like Thomas shouldn't have got nothing. And that's no disrespect to Thomas, but I just felt like just what I saw, like that's not hitting me. Like, that's just not, like, I'm not allowing that to happen, especially if there's all this grudge match and all this, like, I'm not even giving you that space. But that's just my thoughts on it. I don't know. I you know how I felt going into it. Like, I wasn't really vibing with the whole energy behind it because I didn't know what it really was. And what it turned out to be is what
you thought it was going to be.
Not even just what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So I thought it was like some real. I thought it was like some real heat. No, when I say real heat, Trey like almost 270 pounds. And you hit this dude with a back fist, and this dude is still kind of like there. Like I know in my time, I've hit people with back fists, and when I really hit you with one, like you're not feeling too well after it.
He wasn't.
But he was tired. No, you saying there was more behind it? Because it looked like he was just tired to me. It wasn't like he was like.
I didn't go check on him, so I don't know.
Why not?
Because he was doing interviews.
I don't know.
Because there was a lot of other stuff that was happening afterwards that I'm not going to talk about, but it was a lot of stuff that was happening afterwards.
Okay.
During the fight, in the crowd, it was a lot of stuff that was happening that was inappropriate. And so, yeah. So it was kind of just, and to be honest with you, like they don't like each other, but the incident or the incidents were not involving those two gentlemen for the most part. Most of it was afterwards. Like they were just kind of on opposite sides of it and were the ones who ended up talking afterwards. Right? Like the people that were involved.
Yeah, like honestly, man, if this dude is texting me at night and like sending me messages, like bro, that's just a different, like that's what I'm saying. Like for me, it's just different. Like, I guess
you can say it.
I have a different switch, I guess, because like we're not doing that. Like, you know what I mean? And then now we get in this ring and like, yeah, I'm not just gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you up. Like I am. Like yeah, but what do I know?
Chris, your thoughts on the fight?
How do you follow that?
Like I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Chris, but like when Trey sat there and he talked about this dude was like texting him at night and doing all this other stuff, like
then it hit you like he should have done more.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm coming in there already, like
locked and loaded with a 4-piece for the first 7 exchanges,
and the whole $5,000 thing. Ain't nobody gonna pay that money. Nobody gonna pay that money. Like you know what I mean. So it's like I'm not even man. I ain't even tripping on that. Yeah, come get it. Come to my house and get it. You can have everything you want after I give you this. But again, that's just like man. That. I'll be honest. That actually struck a nerve with me to hear that this dude was going that far with it. Like you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like that really straight. Y'all know more than I know. I didn't know that all that was happening, but to hear Trey have to go through that and have somebody continually doing that like that, nah. That's not my cup of tea. I don't play those kind of games.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, I thought it was quite a bit more mild-mannered than I thought it was going to be. I thought there were going to be a few more heated exchanges, but Trey controlled the fight. Wore him out in the first round, was down in the first round, and then just outclassed the second round. Like you said, Los, I thought there was going to be more on it. I was kind of happy there wasn't, just kind of for pay-per-view ship and the martial arts and all of that. I was a little bit relieved that there wasn't more on it. Right. Don't put me in that position because I'm agreeing with you on that one, Los, because had that probably been me, or had that would have been me, that would have probably been a different. We might not have made it to the match, to be honest with you, with some of the things that have been said. that was my thing. We wouldn't have made it to the fight. I know me. Yeah, exactly.
I don't have that type of temperament. Like you mean, like I'm a cool, laid back dude, but like I don't. You don't ever see me arguing. That's why I don't argue. That's why you don't ever see me like bickering back and forth because I know I get heightened like really quick. Like you know what I mean? And I'm just talking about it right now. It's getting me all worked up. So my bad. I just can't do that, man. Keep that stuff away. Trav, keep that stuff away from me.
Us.
Y'all can hold on to all that.
No, that's Trav. That's Trav. He likes that. He feeds on that.
Like what? Wait, what?
I'm just kidding.
I am the nicest, most calm, relaxed person ever until somebody pushes me over the edge, and then it's like, all right, well, look, I tried to do nice things for you, but anyway, the fight. So I'm relieved for Jesse's sake. I'm relieved for our sport's sake that it did not get worse than it could have been. There was active people there trying to make sure that nothing, like that temper stayed calm. Because like I said, it was tense in the building. It was tense in the building because everybody was trying to figure out, even because people knew a lot of people didn't know the backstory of what happened. They just know these two people don't like each other.
Yep.
Right. And because of that, if one group of people or somebody was saying something, other people were like, hey, what are you doing? Like, they already don't like each other. Why are you throwing gasoline on the fire? And like, calm down, stuff like that. And other people like, why are they acting like this? Like, because you don't really know the backstory of what all was going on in this fight. Like it's this is being calm. They're just saying something. They're not actually doing something at this point. Like, they stayed on opposite sides of the venue. They didn't interact with each other. Their groups didn't interact with each other. Nothing was really said. It was just kind of just here. Like I saw Thomas getting his hands wrapped. Like, it was like, all right. He's like, Mike was wrapping his hands like to like a boxing match. And it's just like, okay, chances are they're gonna be throwing some heat. It was no words, nothing like that. And it wasn't a lot of smiles or anything like that. Everybody said hey to her. When they came in to me, I'm like, hey, what's up? But a lot of people didn't really. It was just an intense atmosphere, right? And so, if Trey did what you said you would have done, it might have been a powder keg in there. It might have gotten worse. So I'm just glad it didn't go
nuclear.
It didn't go really bad for that. Because a lot of people that were texting me asking me like, how did it go, or what, what's going on? Because the karate world, everybody starts texting about what's going on behind the scenes. So like, yo, somebody just said this, somebody just did this, they did this, and it's kind of like, oh, all right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So so I was just kind of relieved more so for Jesse's sake and VFT's sake that it didn't go too bad. In the fight, I got to go back to my old standpoint. Thomas looked old. It was just simple as that. He looked old. Like, he looked like he hadn't fought in 20 years. Like that second round was like, oh no, timing, all that stuff. It looked completely different. So, and as far as the class goes, I think the game plan, Chris, you could probably speak to it more. I think Trey knew he was going to take that first round just to relax, let him do what he wanted to do, and then in the second round just haul off because he turned it up in that second round. Like,
he turned it up at the very last two exchanges of the first round.
Yeah,
my man, thank you.
Yeah, I that was interesting because I didn't really see the exchange because they kind of went into an area I couldn't. I was.
Oh, it was back on that backside, so like it was like right underneath us, and you dang.
Yeah. And that's where the camera guy was at too. So the camera guy was there, plus the pole. So I didn't see what happened.
Boom.
And I just saw Thomas come back, and his headgear was twisted around. It wasn't until I saw Speedy's post that I actually saw what actually happened.
Oh no, because it was sideways, and he walked and he turned it around, and it was backwards. And that's when he blew him to kiss or whatever.
He's like, and it's like, yeah.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
And then that second round, Trey just hauled up and just started hitting him. Bang, bang, bang.
Turned into cell for a little while.
Yeah. And
put his hands down, just creeped in. Bow.
Trey didn't have to load up to hit him hard, right? Because Thomas wasn't moving Really, he was kind of on the line at that point, and Trey was hitting him, and he was going back and falling down. Thomas was spitting his mouthpiece out. He was trying to do everything he possibly could to, I guess, catch his breath. But I don't know how much of it was him catching his breath or him getting dizzy after so many backfists to the head. Like, I honestly don't know what was going on, because Thomas was just kind of like, he honestly was laid out after the fight on the side, and people were just kind of around him, checking on him, making sure he was all right, and he was just kind of laying there. So I don't know what the prognosis was or whatever was going on, but yeah, he wasn't feeling too well afterwards. I don't know if it could have been like his cardio, heart, whatever. I have no idea, no clue. Hope he recovers. He does all right, but yeah, if Trey really went off and teed off on him, it would have been really bad. It would have been really bad going into that final fight. Yeah, so that's all I got, man, for that. Man,
so kudos for
showing restraint and control
himself, because again,
right,
there's a lot, like you said.
No.
Like, I don't know. I hope in that space, I hope we don't have to experience something like that again.
Correct. Honestly, I hopefully we don't, because honestly, it was one of those things where it was like, the fight, we had this idea of how the fight might go, because everybody throwing late shots, it get nasty, them slamming each other, being wrestling or whatever. And Trey really, because Trey's a nice dude, man. Like, honestly, Trey he's a really nice guy. Like, let's throw that out there.
I listen to his interviews. I mean, like, he don't seem, that's what I'm saying. He don't seem like he has that. Like, he's a good dude. Like, you mean, like, a good dude. Like, he don't tolerate, some of the others.
And honestly,
go ahead.
I was about to say, because honestly, like, you guys see Team ATL get into it a lot, and a lot of the times Trey is the one telling the other side, like, "Hey, look, I'm telling you, relax. Don't," he's trying to like calm it down. He's like you keep talking, then we're gonna see some furniture moving here. But he's like more the relaxed one. Jalen, on the other hand, is the one who's yelling and saying stuff. Marcel would be yelling and saying stuff, and Trey will just kind of be standing there, and then he'll say something. Then he'll say something like, "Yo, look." After they, it goes on for a little too long, he kind of like tries to like, look, I don't gotta talk. Like, I'll jump in here and just, lay y'all out, whatever the case might be. Stop with all the extra stuff. So he's kind of more, a little bit more mild tempered than the others, but, so yeah, if that was Jalen versus Thomas, it would have been a nasty fight. It would have been a more wild fight, I think, as opposed to it being with Trey versus Thomas. But I think Jalen would have been more filled with piss and vinegar and going off. But it is what it is. All right, that was longer than I expected, and time's out. You know what I mean? But I still want to get to this
for weeks.
I know you got to. I know y'all want to go real quick, but I got to get to this real quick.
Okay, let's do it.
For the last couple months, people have seen Premier Martial Arts is being sued and accused of lying to franchise owners, and they said it's a Rico case. Now, from when I saw that, I'm like, yo, they bullying people and taking their money. That's when I think of Rico. It's like it's John Gotti. It's
right
down here in Atlanta, Young Thug, and all the other stuff. Like, yo, these Rico cases, I'm just like, yo, that means they doing some gangster stuff out. So I started reading it. Have y'all read up on this? I'm just curious if y'all actually read up why they're going through this.
A little bit. Like, I've skimmed through like the Cliff Notes versions. I haven't done any kind of deep diving into this. Like, I don't.
Los, you like no, or yes, or
So, Travis, I'm gonna tell you, like, there's one extremely valuable commodity that when we lose it, we can never get back.
I already knew this was coming.
And that is time, brother.
And you don't have time for this.
I mean, I have the conversation, but I don't have time to go and read up on Premier because I'm not a part of Premier.
Right.
Like, obviously, I know people that are like me, so I hope everything works out well for them.
Right.
I haven't seen a pause what it is that they've been doing within that organization or whatever.
I was curious.
So because I haven't seen a pause in what they were doing in their organization, and like, you know, I may have a relationship, but I don't have a relationship like that where I'm gonna reach out to them like, oh, is everything all right? Like, I'm not doing that either. Like, you mean? So it's like,
right.
You know, it's just like anything else.
I decided to look up all the articles and try and figure out what's actually happening.
You live for that type of stuff.
I'm curious.
You are.
Once again.
Okay, wait. Aren't there Premier Martial Arts in you guys' areas? I know Chris is somewhere there.
We got one. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was one not far from where I'm at down in Atlanta. Those I'm not sure if there's
a couple around here
in Syracuse.
No, I mean I've heard of them. Like, I know who they are. Like, honestly,
yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah.
All right, so real quick. All right. It's more than 50 franchises have filed a federal lawsuit against Knoxville-based Premier Martial Arts, saying the company systematically defrauded them for years by promoting its franchises as quickly profitable businesses that can be run on a part-time basis. The suit alleges Premier Martial Arts claimed the franchises could be run semi-absentee with just one full-time and one part-time employee, when in fact owners say they had to work 40 to 60 hours a week and hire far more employees to keep a studio running. The suit also claims the company made false statements about profitability, such as fabricating financial data to claim profits margins in excess of 40%. Now, one of the things that stood out to me in a lot of this was they were telling people that they only had to work 10 hours a week. I don't know what martial arts school it's at. You are our owner that you can only work 10 hours a week and get 40,000. Like, I think they said something around $40,000 a month. That to me already started to sound like a
Ponzi scheme.
A get rich quick scheme. Like, it just doesn't even seem like that works. So one of the plaintiffs, Nashville resident Morgan Barth, come on, man, y'all can't be doing that to the Morgans. Purchased 3 territories in Middle Tennessee. Purchased 3 areas where he was authorized to open a Premier Martial Arts franchise, and open 2 in Nashville and Murfreesboro. I don't know how to pronounce that. According to the lawsuit, Barth has never been able to turn a profit. His losses include franchise fees, construction costs, and operating losses totaling about $800,000. And you bought 3 of them? You didn't turn a profit on the first one or the second one, so you bought the third one. Despite consistent losses, Barth was named by the company as a rising star and was asked back the franchise to potential investors, the suit states. In fact, the suit says he was expressly asked not to discuss the fact that he wasn't turning a profit and had to work more hours than expected. One of the things is that in 2018 is when 2019 they decided to do franchise. So it's only like 4 years ago they started doing this, and they went from 68 to like 166 in like 3 years. Like, they just started pumping these things out. And 54, huh? Yeah, and then they sold it. And then they sold it. And it's like, wait, what? And so it's all over. Like, there's like 54 franchises in the lawsuit come from 24 states, with the highest number from California, Texas, Florida. There's some in Georgia and Michigan as well. I read at some point that the franchise fees could be upwards of $298,000. I'm like, that is just an excessive amount. And if you're making $40,000 a month, your franchise fees are $298,000 for the year. Then you're making $480. You know, you're only making $180,000, and that's before you even pay taxes.
Like, or you pay your overhead.
Yeah, or your overhead. Oh, geez, I. Uh, so one of my questions was, how is this technically a RICO, or they just told y'all what y'all wanted to hear and y'all believed it? Like, is because he said, "Hey, you only got to work 10 hours." Was that in the writing of this? I'm curious as to how this.
From my understanding of it, or from what I heard of it, is that you don't have full ownership of any of the locations. At any time, they can come in and take the location from you if you're not meeting certain standards, and they could put their own instructors in there. So that could be where some of the RICO comes in, is because you're saying I'm an owner, but I'm not really an owner. Come in and kick me out, like, you get what I'm saying, and take over. I did hear that well before this thing, but again,
Yes.
I don't invest my time in that type of stuff.
So I went to another article, because I went to a couple different articles, because I wanted to really get involved and just like understand what actually is going on with this. And guess whose name I saw pop up on here?
Who's?
Josh Smith. And I saw it. I said, "Oh, is he a part of this? Is he a part of the, let me go to it. Barry Van Over.
Barry Vanover.
Barry Vanover. Oh, Barry. Can't be doing things like this, Barry. The company began franchising location in 2018. The complaint says that before that, its studios were largely run by full-time martial arts professionals licensed under the Premier brand. After some time, and to help market, look at this, 10 hours, 40%. Where is Josh? Okay, Josh Smith, who owns and operates 4 Premier Martial Arts studios in the Nashville area, said that margin has never been realized as far as he knows. He was the company's second highest earner last year. Smith said in a phone call on Monday, and he sees profit margins around 20% when all is going well. In hindsight, it was almost too good to be true, Smith said. Smith is what the company calls a legacy owner, meaning he has a background in martial arts himself and ran his studios first independently, then licensed under the Premier Martial Arts brand before the company began franchising. He is not involved in the lawsuit. So I was curious if, I don't know if this is, so he's not a part of the lawsuit. Would Premier be able to come and take his school, even though?
Now, if he independently owned them, that's what they just said, that he independently owned them. And
he independently owned one, and then once he swapped over to Premier, I think he built, he got added the other couple locations, the other 3.
But they could still be under his independent brand, like, you know what I mean?
Fair. Yeah, depending on what the LLC is and how all that works.
They said he licensed under the Premier Martial Arts brand before the company began franchising. So I don't know if he just licensed the name. He just licensed the name of it, and he still owns it.
And yeah. That is the title.
The complaints also alleges owners were promised help with hiring and training, access to Premier success coaches, and traveling instructors to fill gaps in staffing if needed. But owners in the lawsuit say that promise was simply never happen. Less than 3 years after the business began franchising, more than 700 locations have been purchased. That is a lot. And only 54 people are saying, "Hey, we got scammed."
Mm-hmm.
To run a Premier Martial Arts location, lawsuit states owners were told they had to use the company's own software and marketing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's in any of those, though not all have made it to their opening, Smith estimated. All right. I also saw that they could make about $75 million more if that. So I'm just curious about all of this. At what point are the people being deceived, and at what point are the people expecting it just to be easy and not have to put in work for it? It's a lot of gray areas in this thing for me, and so I'm kind of confused by it, intrigued at the same time, because I'm not a martial arts owner and you guys are, so I wanted y'all take on everything I just read and what y'all heard and the stuff that's going down with them, real quick, and let y'all get out. Yeah, real quick.
I'm good.
I mean, you go to these seminars. Do they sell this?
No, listen, so here's my thing. Nothing in life you're ever going to get that's going to be sustainable is ever going to come with no work involved to it, right? And most people that only have to be in their school 10 hours a week, whatever that's because they put in the sweat and equity to build what it is that they had to get to.
Put in the systems in place. And
so if you're a person that's looking to buy something that you feel is going to cheat code you, then you're a fool to think that, because you don't have the right mentality or the right I don't know what word I'm looking for, but you just like you already in a different. You're not built for what it is that it's supposed to provide for you. Now, does that mean that they didn't get people that was not smart enough that fell into that whole cycle and trap? Absolutely. Obviously, that's why they're going through what they're going through. But I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I go to a lot of events and everybody's selling something. Everybody's trying to give you something. But no matter what it is that they sell you, you have to implement and do the work. If you don't implement and do the work, the results don't matter. Results are kind of on you. Like, you know what I mean? And yeah, you're supposed to have some help, some tutelage and things of that nature, but it's only going to go as far as you take it. So, again, I use someone like Josh, who I don't know his situation. I don't know anything about what's going on with him in this, but he doesn't seem like he's missing the beat.
Well, if it's 700 franchises and only 54, I'm assuming they're doing that. It's only a small portion. That's not even 10% of. I mean, that's a little more than 10%, right? Yeah,
it's lower than 10%.
Yeah,
700 and less.
Yeah, so I don't know what to say about this, man. Like, well, thank you, math man.
I was just saying, probably like 70, 50. No, it's not 10%.
No, it's not 10%.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't like. So that's what I'm saying. I don't really have a lot of thought on it, because for anyone to think that you're going to get something for nothing, I don't even want to say for nothing. Even if I give you all this money, I do all this stuff, and you tell me all this stuff. Again, it's like a Ponzi scheme. Like, it's those like a lot of that stuff doesn't work like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Like, and I mean, that's kind of where I thought about like things like that. Like, if you read into that and it's like, yeah, that's gonna be super easy. Like Lo said, you're not built for this. Like, you gotta grind in this. But I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know too much. Again, I don't know too much about it either.
But here's the thing that I was the most uncomfortable with. The fact that, let's call it what it is, that it's a karate school, it's a business. It's a karate business. I don't want to call it a karate school, right? Because the whole thing you're talking about is not the karate part or the actual teaching of it. You're just saying, hey, I just want to open up this business that does karate, and this is how you make a lot of money off of it. And it's not necessarily I want to teach about karate or martial arts like that. It's just like, hey, this is just how you're gonna make a lot of money. Huh?
Give me the book so I can follow the book. And if I follow the book the way that you gave me the book, telling me I'm going to make
supposed to work
$40,000.
But that's where my problem lies with. Honestly, all together with it is not necessarily because I come from the school of actual school where it's not necessarily about the money. It's about the relationships and the people who are patronizing that business.
You have both.
So why can't you?
Mm-hmm.
The balance that is the fight. The more business and successful you become, I think the less personal attention in relationships you have, right? Like, think about it, if you go to a college and it's 20,000, you're not going to have the same experience if you go to a small college when you have 5,000 people. Like you're in a classroom with 800 people versus 30 people. You can interact with the teacher and get more attention in that class. So that relationship you have with that teacher versus the teacher that you had in the 800, it's different. It's a different relationship or mentorship or whatever the case may be. So there is a way, like you can go to like a butcher and have a good relationship with your local neighborhood butcher versus going to Walmart and picking up whatever food that's there. It's like you may have some like relationship, but not that type of relationship that you might have with a small business. So I think that's the part of it. It's the larger you get, McDonald's is one of the big Subway is the biggest restaurant in the world. And
when was the last time you ate at one?
Actually, it's been a while since I ate at a Subway, man. I think about it. It's been a while. I used to eat there a lot, but now I don't eat there that much anymore. But it's you lose part of it. And for them to grow that large, that fast, so I think they were saying they had like 68, and then over the last, how many every years, I saw different numbers about how many franchises there are. Some said 500 and something, some said 700. So I don't know what the actual numbers of, but regardless, it's a lot of freaking schools that they have. It's huge. So the more it is, the less I think. And you can't tell me that every school runs it the same exact way, or it's just not. Like, there's certain McDonald's that look different. You go to the McDonald's in the hood versus the McDonald's in the burbs and in the rich neighborhood, they look different. They look the same, but they look different. You can tell there's a difference. It's like, there's a difference here. So,
one place got fries all on the floor.
Yeah,
on the floor where they're cooking at.
And honestly, I think that's something that goes with just like everything else that when you franchise, and especially when you franchise too fast and without too much control. If they're saying that they're supposed to be helping you out and they're not helping you out, then it's going to be different. It's like some of those Premier Martial Arts going to be different. Like I remember one that was over here not far from where I lived, was like maybe half a mile from where I lived. I remember driving by it. It's a liquor store now. It is what it is. So I don't know. But
Jeff, tell us what it is, Jeff.
I'm sure.
Run down tomorrow.
I'm sure he's gonna.
We'll get the text messages in the morning.
Yeah.
Media has it all. All broken down.
But yes, all right. Los, and Chris, I'm gonna let y'all go because Los, I know you're probably in trouble because you was probably supposed to get off here at like 25 minutes ago.
No, it's not my wife.
I saw you.
Yeah, she ain't gonna look at me. Sorry, babe. Listen, you want me to be home? I'm home. Okay, I'm in the house.
Real quick.
You ain't said what I had to be doing in the house, but I'm in the house.
Chris, who you going with for the Super Bowl, man?
Well, I gotta go with my man Los, man. I gotta go with the Eagles.
Appreciate you, Chris. Appreciate you. Let me tell you what he said off the camera, though. Let me tell you what he said off the camera. He was like, man, I really don't even care who wins. So I guess, Los, I'm going to go with you. I'm like, bro, if you don't care who wins, how you just not going to rock with me? Just don't even say that part. Like, just say, Los, I'm going to go with you because you my mans. You can't be like, I don't really care. Like, come on, man.
And we would have just let that one rock here. Then we got to tell the pregame story.
No. But no, I appreciate it, Chris. I know you roll with me. I already got Captain Jack. He already hit me up. Like, I already know what time it is. All right, Jack. This just what? Huh?
What? I didn't hear what you saying. What you saying? Y'all don't want to know who I'm cheering for in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, go. You cheer for.
Go ahead.
Rihanna.
Never mind. I'm gonna leave my next comment alone.
Hey, Los, he wearing red. I'm just letting you know. Chris wearing red. He wearing
red
and white. He wearing the Eagles. I'm in the Chiefs colors, man.
Okay. I don't like the Chiefs.
Here's the thing. I honestly don't know who I want to cheer for. I honestly just. But I already know y'all gonna be annoying.
Why are we gonna be annoying?
I don't know why. Y'all, I don't know why. Y'all act like y'all. No,
that's because you don't know. That's because you don't know enough Kansas City fans.
Exactly.
There's not enough.
That's not gonna be bothering me as much.
There's not enough Kansas City fans in our circle of. Let's just keep that aside. In our circle of people, there's a certain cliche of like teams that we all kind of circle around our universe of people. You don't get many that are Kansas City fans.
Hey, look, man.
I understand.
I like Patrick Mahomes' father.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Pause.
Yeah, you can pause that. But
you should. And damn on that.
Where did that come from? Like, what is that?
It is what it is. No, but I just don't want to be annoyed. Whoever wins, I just don't want to be annoyed. That's it.
Annoyed by what?
Y'all happiness.
Oh goodness, he the Grinch that stole the Super Bowl, man. Look at it.
Yeah. Like he is kind of like a Grinch, though. If you think about it, like,
I know.
Sometimes, Joe. Like
I would say,
come in just snatch all the fun away.
Gotcha. He's a soul snatcher for real. Like he just like no.
I was just saying, if y'all gonna be all happy and stuff, just do it and relax and be respectful. Y'all were acting like y'all won the Super Bowl 2 weeks ago, which didn't make any sense to me.
We weren't acting like that. What are you talking about?
Y'all were burning stuff down and jumping around, acting like I'm like, y'all, what are y'all doing?
Who's burning stuff down? Who burns
people in
down?
Philly?
When they're
that's probably a normal Friday, man. Chill out.
They were standing on like the bus thing, and then they fell through at some point. Like they were doing.
The Super Bowl.
Y'all not, fam. Y'all not the Lions. Y'all didn't. This is not the first time y'all ever went to the Super Bowl. Y'all should act like y'all been there before. Y'all were just there. Y'all just won it a couple years ago.
First of all, the people that was on the cars and all that type of stuff, they weren't actually at the Super Bowl. It's the players that went. We're just excited for them. Exactly. Do you have how do you express joy? Seriously, like I know you haven't had anything like that. That's been like to be happy about. Like how do you express joy? Seriously, like I mean, like what is it that you do? Like you don't.
Like, I talk with you guys. You guys bring me joy. I talk to you guys. That's what brings me joy. There you go.
You back in Atlanta, ain't you?
I'm happy I got my headphones in.
Yes. Man, look, I'm out of here, man. Look, all right,
oh yeah, you didn't think we was going here, huh?
Yeah, look.
Started on listen small money, but now it's the Forbes list. We really was dark. I can hear echoes from feds on this beat from informants. I think they recorded. Listen, you hear that?
We might just get hit with the Rico. We might just get hit with